technicalities, but what I wanted to emphasize is that our beaches are totally safe. We are fully committed to public safety. We've had a very unusual confluence of events with heavy rainfall, a lot of sun, a lot of heat that has caused algae to form. We're monitoring this very closely. We're keeping the public away from anything that might endanger them. But having said that, all of our beaches are clear. I think Dan Bates and Ken Todd, who will come up after me, will clarify that or reemphasize that. And there's no reason to be at all shy about coming to Palm Beach County at this point in time, because we've got a small problem that we've contained. And let me, with that, introduce Dan Bates from Environmental Resources Management and have him explain further.
Good afternoon. First of all, I apologize for dragging you out here on such a beautiful day to such a lovely beach. But hopefully you'll go out to the beach after we're done here and see how many people are enjoying the beach. And this is just one out of the 47 miles of beaches we have here. They're all great for swimming, and I hope you join me this weekend. I'm going to be out at the beach with my family and many others that are going to enjoy the week. That said, we do have algae in the inland waterways, especially Lake Worth Lagoon. I'll show you on a map where that originates and where we've seen the extent of where that algae bloom has been. But I want to emphasize first that this blue-green algae is native. It's natural here. We have it in the waters all the time. There are blooms pretty much every year, but nothing of the size that we've experienced so far this year. Most of this that we're getting right now, it's coming down through the C51 canal from Lake Okeechobee. The nutrient levels in the lake right now are much higher than usual, and that's really the base cause of most of the algae. The algae, even though it's bright green and it looks nasty, it's not necessarily toxic. We do test on a regular basis. In fact, the state has done some tests, and they're continuing to test to see if there's any toxin in the waters at all. So far, none of the tests in Palm Beach County have recorded any kind of high levels of toxin, nothing like what we've seen in Martin County. So we can say with some assurance that so far, so good. You might get out in the waters, you might see little patches of green algae. You're not going to see the big heavy mats that they're seeing up in Martin County. We do caution people, if you see the algae, just stay away from it. But right now, there's no indication that it's toxic. I'd like to show the map right now, if I could, and get into that. Okay. So right pretty much in the middle of Lake Worth is the C51 canal. This goes all the way out, joins the L8 and joins Lake Okeechobee. We've been watching this algae since it first started showing up in the county, and it did come out of the C51. We tracked that algae all the way back out to the lake, so we know that's the origin of the majority of it. It feeds off the nutrients in the water, and that's what causes it to bloom. And since it comes out in the middle of Lake Worth Lagoon, that's kind of the nodal point of the lagoon. It'll spread both north and south toward the inlets as it moves. So we've been seeing it as far south as the Boynton Inlet, so South Lake Worth Inlet, and as far north now as Peanut Island and Lake Worth Inlet. In small quantities, but it's still there, and so we're still keeping an eye on it. There may be, because it's at the inlets now, it's going to come out with the tides and start to spread north and south depending on the currents, the waves and such. But again, it's at that point, when it reaches salt water, this algae will die with salt. And that's one of the things we're hoping for, even with the algae within the lake. As the salt water comes in on an incoming tide, that brings salt in, that'll kill off that algae. So the algae you're going to see out on the waterways, if you see it at all, is either dead or nearly dead and fairly safe.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you're talking about seeing algae in the Lake Worth Lagoon and near Peanut Island. Is it safe to swim in the Lake Worth Lagoon? Is it safe to swim near Peanut Island? Obviously very popular places for the July 4th weekend.
Right now, we're seeing them in such small quantities that I wouldn't worry about it. I would swim in around Peanut Island right now. We don't know what we're going to get on the coming days, even the weeks, because it is coming down the canal. We know it feeds off the heat. We know it feeds off the nutrients in the water. This algae is sort of like a canary in the coal mine. It's telling us that there's too many nutrients in the water. If somebody's out there enjoying the area around Peanut Island this weekend, and I'm sure there's going to be thousands out there, if you see algae, just stay away from it. But I wouldn't necessarily cancel your trip to go there.
What
Sometime-
about people with compromised immune systems, people who are pregnant, women who are pregnant? I've seen online, there's a kind of a differentiation for those groups.
I'd be more cautious if I was in those groups.
What would you mention the algae being contained in Palm Beach County? Are you referring to just a natural effect, or is there something you guys have been doing to actually contain?
Just the natural
algae?
effect of, it's slowly moving its way out from a central point. A lot of people don't understand that it is coming down from the C-51, so we know the origin of it, and we can track it from there.
Obviously a busy weekend, you guys
It
will
is.
be out monitoring and making sure, because you mentioned that it could go out and spread it potentially, and you guys will be monitoring that situation. Things could change in the coming days, maybe?
They can at any time. So there is a website that DEP put up that shows all of the test results that they get back as they get them in. And there's a map on that website that shows where they've taken the test, what results have come back. We can get you that web address and send it out. I encourage people, have a look.
Have they had any results? All I've seen is just the one sample that they've taken from the Lake Worth
Suma
Lagoon.
Beach
Is that all
was the
you
only
have?
one. They
are
took
aware of?
a bunch more samples up the C-51. We haven't gotten the results back
Okay.
yet.
Now, I'd like to take a moment to introduce Jorge Pesquera. He's the president and CEO of Discover the Palm Beaches, the official tourist marketing agency for Palm Beach County.
Hi, thanks for coming out this afternoon. We're here from a tourism standpoint because we have received a number of calls from residents and visitors who have heard about some of the stories that are particular to our friends to the north in Martin County. And the good thing about the Palm Beaches is that we do have 47 miles of beaches in this area. And so as of this time, it's absolutely safe. Our beaches are clean, and people should feel completely comfortable coming to the Palm Beaches and Palm Beach County over the 4th of July weekend. The Environmental Resource Management team and the folks in technical positions in Palm Beach County are monitoring the situation very closely, but suffice it to say, they have webcams. We're right next to this beautiful beach here in Singer Island. There's dozens of people out there enjoying their time. We've looked at the beach. It's perfectly clean. And so we have the webcams. They are available at pbcgov.com/ERM, ERM/beachcams. So feel free to look at the webcams because there's always a beach in the Palm Beaches available for people to enjoy.
On the Treasure Coast, we've heard stories about people canceling their trips down here for the July 4th weekend because of the concerns of their health. Have you seen anything like that at all in Palm Beach County?
We have not. I'm not aware of any calls to the hotels as of this time of people canceling as a result of this. It is a big state. It is a big coastline. We're sorry about the things that are happening north from here, but the reality is that Palm Beach County, as of now, the beaches are clean, safe, and perfectly suitable for enjoying themselves this weekend.
But you say you have gotten some inquiries from people, tourists?
Well, yes, our very few. Our visitor centers have received a number of calls, 4 to be exact. And, people are saying, what's happening down there? They've seen the news. It's been on the front page of the local newspapers. It's made a little bit of state and national news. So we just want to make sure people know that in Palm Beach County, we're fine. Okay? Any other questions?
Yeah, you've gotten a lot of inquiries. I don't know how well you track numbers on 4th of July weekend. What are you expecting this weekend in terms of those kind of numbers, down or up? Can you comment on that at all?
We're expecting a good weekend. Again, I have not received. We're in very close contact with our hotelier partners all along. If we had been receiving a dozen calls from our hotels, I haven't received any calls from the hotel world. So I feel that it's probably going to be a very good weekend this weekend in Palm Beach.
Okay, are there any other questions?
Commissioner?
I just wanted to add, we need to back up a little from a policy point of view and talk about why this is occurring. There are two basic reasons. One is that Lake Okeechobee, the dam around it is weakened and in danger of breaching if the water level there gets too high. So it forces the Army Corps of Engineers to release water both into the St. Lucie River, the Caloosahatchee River, and into the C-51 Canal. The other reason is that north of the lake, nutrient-rich water flows down the Kissimmee Valley into the lake, and that's what ultimately comes to us and gets to both the Lake Worth Lagoon and the Indian River Lagoon. So I would urge anybody who's concerned about this to, and I know our legislative delegation and Governor Scott are quite concerned about this, but we need to put some real pressure on our elected officials who at the federal level too, to be certain that we fix the dike around Lake Okeechobee. I know my colleague Commissioner McKinley has called for a very large joint meeting among all of the agencies that have any jurisdiction over this, and we need to do that because this happens only because of nutrient flow. If we had fresh water coming out of Lake Okeechobee, we wouldn't be talking about this problem.
Absolutely.
So, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone, for coming out today. If there are any other questions, please don't hesitate.
That was Palm Beach County's Vice Mayor, as well as members of the Department of Environmental Resources, updating us on the current algae situation in Palm Beach County. Dan Bates with the Environmental Resources Management basically trying to drive home the point that people should feel comfortable coming to Palm Beach County beaches this holiday weekend. He admits that they are seeing small quantities of blue-green algae near Peanut Island as well as near the Lake Worth Lagoon. But again, leaders emphasizing that our beaches are totally safe, claiming the algae is non-toxic.